Let's get to it indeed. We've got Panda Global and Team Blaze on Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is the game 3 of the best of 3. Whoever wins this moves on to the round of 8 and gets to keep playing 2 weekends from now when it's cast from the ESL studios in Burbank. Panda Global with first pick, first ban is going to ban Zagara. Team Blaze counters with a Leoric ban.
All right, we're into the game 3, remember, guys. So this is the important set of matches. This is where it comes down to the wire. So as you said, Zagara is going to be out because the Panda Global gets first pick, first ban. Leoric. Rip Leoric. I guess we're just not going to see him anymore today.
No more Skeleton King for our final game. We've got Jaina as a first pick for Panda Global. Super standard there. Blaze, though, are coming out with Johanna and Sylvana. So once again, we're going to see no focus at all on Kael'thas in the early picks, as with Johanna and Sylvanas picked by Team Blaze. Panda counter with Anubarak and Vala.
I stand ready.
We've seen a lot of Anubarak Vala from these guys. Jaina there as well for Panda. Could we actually go into an Abathur? I'm very curious. But Team Blaze, they first picked that Johanna. Will Panda ban out the Azmodan? Do they sense that that is a thing that they need to do? And they do. It's going to be not only the Leoric, but the Murden coming in. Slim pickings for the Warriors, but Panda already got one. And Azmodan is going to be out. This leaves Team Blaze a little scratchy on the head. But because Azmodan is out, who do you need to replace Big Burst with? Guess who's still on the docket?
Zeratul.
Salami Asher Lenore.
Oh, Kael'thas is alive too.
That is something else though. Zeratul's still here. What the actual...
I don't know. That's why I was saying. We've got no Azmodan, no Murden. Azmodan was absolutely a priority. This is the easiest battleground to build stacks up, and I mean, Blaze already showing that they have the capacity to do that on Blackheart's Bay. There's no way the Panda Global can let them have it on Tomb of the Spider Queen, because we'll have 500 stacks in no time. Blaze now have 2 pickups. We have no supports on the board yet, but it's not going to be a support pick as they grab Arthas to start. Arthas Sylvanas, structures, no problem.
Arthas, Sylvanas, yeah, absolutely. That's a little bit terrifying when it comes to the push. But again, it's a double warrior comp for Blaze. And we've done this before. They've definitely done the Johanna Arthas. It wasn't Arthas last round. I think it was game number 1. But Team Blaze did lose with it. But hey, they had a very strong game number 2. They bounced back into it very nicely. And now here in the round of 16, they're putting all their hopes and dreams into that Lich King. No Leoric to betray, but at the same time, he's with that Johanna. There's a lot of soft zone control available to the team. What kind of support are they going to do here? Because they're very likely to pick up their support because they need to make sure this works. All 3 of them are available.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe Uther. Yeah, it is going to be Uther, as it's a good pick for them. They've got a really strong front line now, and they're also denying the possibility of the Divine Shield if Anubarak gets into a bit of trouble, overextends. Panda still sticking with their Anubarak. Daihu says, yes, we lost with Anubarak, but we are still confident that we can win with it. Now, what warrior do you think we'll see them pair with them? I don't think we've seen them yet do a solo Anubarak.
No, a solo Anubarak probably is not going to be up their sleeve at this point, but Arthas is out, Murden, Leoric, and Johanna. That leaves you with no warrior. Okay, because I was curious if it was actually going to be a Zeratul, but the pickup, and it is actually a Zeratul, just to finish the thought. Malfurion, Zeratul. Zeratul's a last pick, by the way. Panda Global. Really
and no Kael'thas.
And no Kael'thas. Well, Team Blaze has a big opportunity here to pick it up because they're last pick. But what the hell? Kael'thas last pick, Zeratul last pick. I mean, these teams really do kind of draft to the beat of their own drum. But Panda Global has now their Anubarak many games in a row. Nobody is really fit to take it away. Jeez, you're not even going to see. Not even going to see the salami. It's the Justice of Tyrael.
Triple warrior!
Yeah, let's talk about that. Koreans are really starting to invade our meta on this side.
Hello, team? Did we switch out Blaze for a Korean team? Because that is not a strat that we see very often here.
Not at all, miss. Not at all.
I've never seen it on Tomb. I've seen it on Dragonshire. I've seen it on Haunted Mines. I have yet to see it on Tomb, but they've got some damage dealers there. They've got, well, I don't know if they'll run Sank or Judgment. I've seen it run both ways, but they've got
Sank.
You think it'll be Sank?
I hope it's Sank. I don't think it will. But
Sank with the Divine Shield on him?
Yep. That's a thing.
Oh my gosh.
That's a thing.
I am so pumped for this game.
That's a thing. All right, so coming back into this, Triple Warrior up against only the Soul Anubarak. We got the Zeratul to poke in and out, Vala for the shred, Jaina in the back as well. And Panda Global, I really didn't expect to see them pick up a Zeratul here because Arthas and Johanna really control the space of the fight very well. It's very hard to get in there without alerting either of those warriors, and they will turn around and just do as much crowd control on you as possible. Until you get that wormhole, it's a very dicey situation for the Zera. But now with Triple Warriors on top of it, Team Blaze is just going to try to do the we don't die comp. They got the shields of Tyrael, self-healing on Arthas, self-shielding on Johanna, and the heals. Hopefully it's going to be something like reach and increased width and length of Holy Light. Because you're going to, or something of light, wave of light, who knows. Either way,
Right.
Uther's going to have a heck of a job trying to keep these warriors up.
Well, looking at who they've picked up and who their one damage dealer is with them, Sylvanas, makes me think that they might not even focus on team fights. Like, they'll just focus on the fact that they're bruisers, they're tanky, they can hold a bunch of gems, they'll turn them in, and then they'll just push and focus on structures and just basically ignore anything that Panda Global tries to do.
Will that work? It's a great question, but we're jumping in the game and we're about to find out. Get on the social media. Triple Warrior hype, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently my copy paste doesn't want to work, but either way, I mean, like, get people interested in this game and get them watching, because what the actual hell. Triple Warriors, man. I just saw this morning with MVP Black. Will it be the same results here?
Was that on Tomb of the Spider Queen?
They played a heck of a lot of matches this morning. Tomb was definitely one of them.
Oh, okay.
It was actually the first one, too. Yeah. It wasn't this. I mean, when you do see the Triple Warriors, usually it involves a Tyrael, an Arthas, and the Myrden. And even then, you're like, not even the Arthas. Anything with an escape mechanism. Anubarak is really good in it.
Right.
Tyrael,
like Tyrael,
and
Anub,
yeah.
Myrden,
Because you can just sit there, soak up so much damage, and basically tag team out to the other way. We don't quite have that same mobility with the Johanna, Arthas, Tyrael. So it's not quite the Koreans, but at the same time, we'll have to see if it works, because as we load in once more on the left-hand side, Daihu, Ivan Drende, Barcode, Zeus, and Lex Luthor are making up the Panda Globals, and they're looking for a win.
And their opponents, who are almost all moving into the mid. We have Jason, Rafflecopter, Kawaii Rice, Psalm, and Claudius. They are Team Blaze. They are out to win this game, and they want to move on to the round of 8. Both teams do, and whoever wins this will get to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, they will be going all the way to those August finals for a chance at September, but a great condemn. And Anubarak just kind of going right in for that burrow charge into death. He's going to be the first takedown very quickly there as the damage collapsed very nicely for Team Blaze.
Johanna, Arthas, and Tyrael already showing their tankiness, even the Uther to boot, and they're moving down to bottom. Can they catch Evan? They will not be able to do so, but they're going to be showing a very strong rotate between some of the lanes, looking to push back the members of Panda Global wherever they can, make them feel nervous, make them feel uncomfortable with stepping out into these lanes because they're so strong with their very strong, tanky warriors.
All right, so yeah, the strong tanky warriors right now are kind of snowballing back and forth. They're ping-ponging back and forth between the lanes. They're trying to get as many... Ivan Drende, that's real ballsy right there. They're trying to get as many orbs as they can, because Arthas needs the Regen Master and Uther needs the Conjurer's Pursuit. We actually have the Purge Evil coming up from Tyrael, and Tyrael, he's getting forced back real hard into this top day, who is way out of position, and here comes the Pain Train.
Claudius and Rafflecopter are after Daihu, though. Malfurion has fallen. Will Anubarak, he will indeed, and there he goes. Claudius able to stay alive just enough to pick up that takedown. And so far, 3 takedowns to 0 for Panda Global. Team Blaze are running this early game.
The early game is going to be hard to beat. 3 tanks and a heals, and on the back of that, again, shield, self-shielding, self-heals. Ivan Drende, toast. It's going to be hard. The roam is going to be absolutely phenomenal coming out from Team Blaze. What can you do against that? Well, you just need to kind of split and soak and be a bit more passive, unfortunately to say. Unless you're going to be trying to do a little bit of a death ball mechanic and try to abuse the lack of healing for the distributed models on Uther early on, which is probably not going to happen here from the Pandas. You have nothing else to do here.
Dayu got so low from there. Lex Luthor and Zeus trying to come in to stop this push. Already one tower is down, the second low on health. This huge push from FourCourtJester, being able to have a really strong front line in front of Sylvanas while Sylvanas just sits in the back, stops the towers from being able to attack, is affording a good experience lead for Team Blaze. They've already got 4 takedowns. They've already got a tower, and they're a full level ahead of Panda Global.
Now you see Evan Drinde into the bottom. He's like, wait, are they coming? Are they coming? Vault immediately.
Yeah.
And, he has the Q build there as well for a little bit of self-sustain, but the towers are out, and we're going to be looking at a very close level, about a level lead between the teams. I mean, a few of the towers here and there. That's the level 6 to 4, but don't let it fool you. We are about to take 5, and Zeus, he does actually have that regen master there as well. Might not serve him too well by the end of it all. The Pandas are definitely in a pinch here this early game.
Yeah, they're playing it so passively. Bala has been reduced to sitting in base because of the fact that she's been caught a couple of times. Barcode might be the next one to get caught here and will go down to a death blow. Hammer of Justice going down on top of Dayu. He will fall as well. Now 6 takedowns to nothing, and poor Panda cannot step out on this battleground at all, or they're getting completely punished by Blaze for it.
Team Blaze really showing some of the knowledge of other metas into this, and they saw that they had a comp, Panda Global had a comp that they could easily just kind of bully around, and they're doing it phenomenally. 6 takedowns, level 7, they're turning in more and more gems. 19 on Claudius, that will be enough for the Web Weavers. Lex Luthor is trying to just bully as hard as he can. We also got Psalm and FourCourtJester. They're going to get some early bruiser pressure, and here comes the Red Web Weavers on top of it. So the push mid is going to be absolutely real, especially if we don't have those level 7 talents for the Pandas.
Push mid will be big, the push bot will be big, as there's already no towers there either. Up top, really the only bastion of strength for our friends, the Panda Global, as it looks like most of Blaze will start to push in mid with those bruisers and web weavers. They know that's their strongest option. They're gonna have 4 here to go with it, and one of them being that Sylvanas, very strong, stopping the structures from being able to attack any of these mercenaries or the web weavers, and already one tower has fallen, the second is right up behind it.
Towers and towers and towers. Oh my, the top not really getting that big push that we were looking for, but mid has definitely yielded all of his goodies. Kawhi Rice is pushing down into the bottom. That's going to be fort pressure that the Pandas really cannot afford to ignore, and that's just going to lead us now with this rotation up top from Blaze. This will be level 9, and this level advantage is almost set at 2, Feely. It is going to be very scary in the next few moments because those level 10 ultimates are going to get very quick here for Blaze.
Every single tower in front of a fort is down. Uther is pushing like mad versus Lex Luthor. Actually gets half of that fort on bottom down. Meanwhile, a fight happening up top. Psalm getting somewhat low here. May get taken out. A good blizzard might be able to secure it. It will. Claudius himself very low, has to get out of there. He has 17 gems to his name. They might not be able to get this fort, but the damage has still been done. They're up a level. They've taken both 2 forts out of the 3 down to half health, and all of the towers have fallen.
Now, how many gems do we have still in the bank? 41 to 43. So if we actually get a turn in, could be some blue pressure now coming onto the map with Panda Global getting those web weavers. But unfortunately, they're just not going to have any kind of presence here outside of their gates, because you see FourCourtJester and Kawhi Rice, they're pushing out the bottom. Jason's guarding here the mid. Zeus is going to be coming in looking for some of those gems, and unfortunately, he's just not even going to get his harass off. But it is still a very dicey situation for pressure coming up from the Pandas. And even look at this bottom. FourCourtJester just disables the wave. There's nobody here to counter clear, and Lex Luthor can only stand by as they watch that fort drop, and that's level 10 now as well.
Smite stops Zeus from turning in. Big turn in here happening up top, but still they have to be careful. Panda are not level 10, and heroic abilities have arrived for Team Blaze. They've got the Blessed Shield, the Divine Shield, Judgment, Wailing Arrow, and Summon Sinfregosa. So they are going to be looking to have big pushes on top of structures, quickly taking out. In fact, speak of the devil, here comes Sinfregosa in, and Dayu and Evan are slow. They have to get out of there. Still no heroics, and this fort will fall.
I'm a little surprised that Kawhi Rice opted for the Divine Shield instead of like looking for the Divine Storm. If he just runs in, it's a heck of a setup. Like Joanna can combo on top of that. The Wailing Arrow. We got Arthas and those slows to boot. So, I mean, I was a little hopeful we'd see it, but it is not to be. The forts are now down. The only one left standing is top, and it's already at that half hit point mark, Gilly.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate here. Panda Global are really having a tough time keeping their structures up, and they're still not able to get a turn-in. They had to back off. They didn't have their heroics, and that means a second turn-in in a row will almost certainly help Blaze take down that final fort. They've got at least heroic abilities on the side of Panda now. They've caught back up. They have Strafe, the Locust Swarm once again, as well as in the Water Elemental, Void Prison, and Tranquility. But this fort is halfway down, and Sylvanas is already here.
Yeah, it's not going to be lasting, but this is going to be a big surgical strike opportunity. Zeus actually not going to be blinking and looking for a VP situation. In fact, it's Claudius that goes in and tries to stop up this aggression. There's the judgment on top of that, on top of Ivan Drende, but he doesn't get the cleanse in time. Big silencing arrow into the back of it as well, and that was the Tyrael Ghost there as well, blowing up. Saw him into the back. He throws down the Syndragosa, but still one down against Team Blaze. They're not really going to be getting a huge amount of value, but what a great route. Saw him into the back. It's not going to be quite the Daihu, but geez, that was very close.
That Howling Blast was huge. Got 3 members. They nearly took out Daihu on top of it. They didn't, but they're still up in experience. They've taken down the fort, and because they were able to distract now, Web Weavers on top and bottom are moving toward those keep structures. The top one will be taken out. The bottom one will follow, but has already started to put some pressure on the tower there in bottom. Looking at this so far, 11 to 12, nearly 13 for Team Blaze, who have so far been really putting on the pressure here for Panda.
Still, Panda, I mean, they got some takedowns to the name. They're no longer really being as bullied as they once were. We have another Strafe ready to go. Judgment into Strafe. It's a little bit of a ballsy move coming out from Ivan Drende, but they're going to have to really rely on the cleanse in order to make this happen. We saw it attempted in that last fight, but Malfrain a little bit too late on the button, and the Strafe actually did get canceled out by the Judgment, but still, at the same time, if Claudius can shut down that Strafe every single time, the damage output of this Vala is just going to go straight down.
Now the issue is that we have 103 gems being held by Panda Global. 28 already in the bank. They really desperately need to get some of those turned in so they don't have to play so passively. Unfortunately for them, they're down a talent tier once again. 2 spell shields picked up, Burning Rage on top of Tyrael, and this is a push into towers here alongside the Bruisers as Sylvanas once again stopping those structures from being able to help defend, and they're gonna fall.
They're 2 in the back, able to dunk down unseen, so that's gonna be some nice counter pressure, a little bit of breathing room to come out from the Panda Global, but yikes, I mean, that push is absolutely monstrous. I mean, already they've lost all 3 forts, and now they're working on those those keep gates. But still, as I said, a little bit of breathing room to come in. Looks like it will be the death ball from Blaze. They're going to start bottom and work their way top, and unfortunately, I'm just not entirely too sure Panda's really going to get a lot of value out of these. Like, if they really want to get max value, I mean, they're not going to take a fort whatsoever with these. They need to set up like a party bush to catch the rotation and get a fight on their terms.
Yeah, they are playing a little bit nervous because they don't have 13 yet. They're nearly there. They did help their top web. We were pushed toward the towers, but like you mentioned, these are going to be taken out very quickly, especially with the lane clear that Team Blaze have. We've talked about it before. Knight takes pawn on Johanna. Frozen Tempest for the Arthas. Sylvanas, too, has the Unstable Poison and the Barbed Shot. They're able to clear out lanes so quickly, and that's really been helping them with this triple warrior composition.
All right, here comes the Death Ball coming right back down. Jason starts things off with that Condemn. We did get that Smite going, but not really a big opener coming out from Team Blaze. Zeus is into the top. We're looking for a VP situation. Fortunately, there's nothing really here in order to get it done. It's going to be it. The Judgment, the Wailing Arrow, and Vala gets destroyed. That's going to be a VP catching friend and foe alike. The Ice Block coming out, and Zeus, he's going to be on the retreat because Jaina is going to be hitting the dirt. Daihu now has to get out of this one as well. Lex, Uther, and the Tranquility will not be near enough. Claudius is going to be there for cutting off that escape. Big stuns. Big Ice Block as well, again just preventing the death but prolonging the inevitable. There goes the Malfrain and a 3-0 swing. 58 gems to the name and counting here for Team Blaze. This is going to be a turn-in and possibly even a boss.
That Malfurion takedown was a lot of gems lost that no one could pick up. And with that, we had Panda evening up the experience a little bit, but now it is very rough for them. They are down. They've just picked up 13. They did get Giant Killer on Vala. That was their time to fight, but unfortunately for them, it did not go their way as now, like you mentioned, Blaze are going after boss. Daihu here is going to try to stop them, and it looks like the boss will be leashed. What heroics do we have? Only the Blessed Shield so far, but Judgment is just about up. Only Strafe here for Panda Global.
And if they want to get good use out of it, they got to use it now. Daihu into the back. The strafe immediately canceled out by Claudius. He was on the trigger with that, and this cleanse combo from Lex Luthor is just not getting it done. No strafe, no Rain of Vengeance, essentially, for a lot of these fights. And the Sindragosa comes in. Will that be enough to pick up the far code? Well, with the smart ice block, it is not going to be, but still the push is going forward. That's not actually the keep disabled from the Sindragosa, but the gate is basically obliterated, and level 16 here as well for Blaze.
Yeah, those towers were just enough to give Blaze their level 16, but they might have overextended here. Rafflecopter is going to go down. Void Prison hits nobody, but Sam and Jason were both very low. Jason's going to get out, but we have to drop cleanse on Uther. Will Kawhi Rice be able to get away? The aggressive Vault forward Vala is trying to catch up with him. Tranquility keeping everyone nice and healthy. Zeus is going to blink forward, and a root will be enough to pick up Kawhi Rice. 15 gems down, and immediately Panda goes right after the boss.
Yeah, they have to. This is their only opportunity with the man advantage to get this done. If they can remove that objective from the map, even if it doesn't get them a fort, it's off the map for 5 minutes, and that will be a lot of time for them to kind of regroup and try to get as much experience as they can. They need to get to parity. They're 15 and a bit. This boss pushing in will put up some pretty significant pressure, and there's still only 2 defenders here from Team Blaze, but they're not exactly sitting on their thumbs. They're going straight down here for some bruiser hype pressure. They're going to be trying to push out as much as they can. Here comes Sylvanas into the top, but unfortunately she can't disable that boss by herself. And still, level 16 inching forward, and Blue Web Weavers will actually be dunked down. So we have boss, level 16 coming in, and the Web Weavers. This is a good momentum swing for the Pandas.
It is. When you have a triple warrior comp, you really want, you're focused on the early game. You have to deal irreparable damage early on, and I don't know if that's been done. Yes, they've taken down all the forts. Yes, they still have all of their own, but all of the keeps still remain for Pandas, and they've picked up 16 now, so they're back on the same talent tier. They've nearly caught up with experience, only half a level behind, and Blue Web Weavers were pushing. Johanna and Tyrael tried to turn in gems while Panda were picking up the boss, but it just wasn't quite enough. They didn't have enough on them, and this is Blue Web Weavers and a blue boss. They've taken out one fort, they're looking for another one, and they're looking for the engage.
Yeah, Zeus has the double bombs ready to go. The 12 arrows are ready. Evindrin into the back. He does actually defeat out the Judgment that time, and Tyrael is going to get deleted. The Void Prison enabled that one to go down, and now Lex Luthor, they're looking much stronger coming into this fight because the vulnerability already popped there on top of Jason. The push forward will stop with the death of the Web Weaver, but still 1, 2 now as they flank forward. Johanna's going to go into the dirt, and good roots on top of Lex Luthor. He's going to even throw out that Shrink Ray at the end of it all, as well as the cleanse to get out of it, but still big swings for Panda. Their level 16s now kicking in, and they are starting to actually take some of these fights.
They're ahead in experience. They're starting to catch back up in takedowns. Only 9-7 now. They've picked up Numbing Blast, which really helped them pick up the takedown on Sylvanas. They've also got Hardened Focus. They've got a lot more heals available to their names. Double bombs for more damage. And blood for more damage. And even the tumble once again. So we're looking for a lot of arrows coming out of Vala once more.
Now, just to talk a little bit about the Hungering Arrow build, a lot of people are just saying, okay, it's all up to Vala. She has that giant killer. Why didn't she go auto attack? Well, you have 3 tanks on the other side. Yes, auto attack sounds great, but as soon as you get into Imposing Will, which wasn't actually picked up, but as soon as you get into Imposing Presence, which again wasn't actually picked up, then you just get shut down. You're no longer the damage carry that you need to be. So Invendrade knew that, went into the 12 arrows build, which will not be affected by that attack speed reduction. It's the safer way to go against this. If you can even foresee 1 imposing presence on the other side and you're the big damage dealer, you can't go auto attack.
All right, well, we have Red Web Weavers spawning, and I get the feeling that this is basically Blaze's last chance to really keep the momentum in their favor, because the momentum swing has really been there for Panda Global. If they can get some keeps down, if they can win a team fight here, they've got the root on Evandrinde. It's not going to be enough. She was behind the wall and safe, but they're going to be looking to just try to take down these Web Weavers as quickly as possible, protect their keeps, and then from there they should be able to go in. Sindragosa is going to move in. It will disable this keep, but Cleanse goes down on top of Evandrinde, keeping her safe from the Judgment, and Strafe is down. Wailing Arrow will stop it though.
Yeah, the wailing arrow was actually really well positioned. Zeus with that VP was basically becoming the MVP at the back of that Lex Luthor with the heals as well. And there goes the Tyrael. The Sylvanas is down. Kawhi Rice is running for the hills. The arrows are they actually enough? Even Drinde is going to let him live. I don't know why. That was basically money in the bank, but they're going to turn around and go for the defense instead because this keep in mid is not looking so good. Top is actually going to drop there as well, and very close to taking out those two keeps. Instead, you also see Jason into the bottom as well, still putting up as much pressure as he can. Had we actually lost the fight but gotten two keeps out of this, Team Blaze might have been able to YOLO a little bit later on.
They do have one keep down, so if they can win a game, they always have that opening and that avenue straight to the core now too. And importantly, that is the top keep. If they can get a boss later on, the boss looks to be up in 25 seconds. If they somehow pick that up, that would go straight to the core. But we've got to pause here. This is a tense game.
Absolutely tense. Yeah, if anybody's lagging a little bit, you know that those pauses are going to be coming out fast and furious. And as we go into it, looking at some of the damage numbers going back and forth, just ridiculous numbers from the Sylvanas. We got 45k there on the Vala as well, and Jaina 39. The double ranged damage core into the back is starting to actually really pay off here from Panda Global. Not a lot of big damage numbers from the triple tanks, but look at those roll scores there as well. 48,000 damage. Or 41,000 soaked, 41,000 soaked, 39,000 soaked. It's absolutely intense.
Yeah, and in healing, we've got Malfurion leading the charge. That's, of course, pretty standard with that Tranquility. He's got 41k healed, looking right around 30k, 28 exactly for Uther. And it looks like TeamSpeak having an issue on the side of one of our teams, so we're just going to make sure that they can communicate with each other. But man, what a close game, Chester, this has been. Both teams right around level 19, going after their bruisers. We've got one fort remaining and all of the keeps for Blaze, but only one keep down so far on the side of Panda. But that is something they're going to have to watch out for. Catapults will be pushing that lane steadily for the rest of the game, and they're going to have to look to make sure that they don't lose out to Winions, especially if later on a boss gets picked up by Blaze. That could be an instant GG moving in toward the core.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong at this stage of the game. We're level 19, 18 and a half minutes in, and as you said, those catapults, that's something that's got to be in the back here of Panda's mind. It's not the biggest of battlegrounds, so you will consistently have this lane pushing in and in and in. What's the timer on that boss? 24 seconds. What's the timer on these bruisers? Well, both of them are actually up and going down very quickly, but that boss is absolutely going to be a big highlight, and if we can't actually get that Vala down in quick order from Blaze, they might have a heck of a time trying to just win out any of these fights from Panda.
Yeah, she really is the key now that she's got that giant killer. She's got all of those arrows, especially with Tumble. She's even got the strafe to throw out all of those extras damage, and it looks like the countdown has begun. We're hopping back into the game.
Admin override coming into it. I guess a pause or a DC from TeamSpeak is not enough to warrant a full 10-minute ban. But at the same time, again, looking at these bruisers, they're going to be coming down into these mid lanes. It's a very close race to 20, but we also have, again, blue web weavers coming down. That boss is not going to be a factor for a while yet. Bottom lane is not exactly pushed forward. Neither there is that top, so I guess we're putting our hopes and dreams into this mid to get that level 20.
We're going to be able to take down these bruisers, and with this lane soak, they are inching ahead in the levels. They look to hit their storm talents first, but how much of a window they'll have there remains to be seen, as we've got most of Blaze here, and they got crazy lane clear. They're hopping up to it. Shouldn't be too much. Now this web weaver does have to go through a fort, but if they can distract, keep it alive as long as possible, distract the members of Blaze, then the other two will naturally push back the lanes, and that's exactly what they want, especially on that top one where there is those catapults still pushing. This web weaver being taken down doesn't look to be enough to get the fort, but you're right, storm talents have arrived.
All right, if we want to make use of this window, it's going to be shutting down very quickly here. We got 20 to 19. If Panda wants to take this fight, now is their best chance of doing it. Triple bolt. We got the hardened shield and the rewind coming in, but there's the level 20 on the flip. The roots, the VP, three-man VP by the end of it. Will the level 20 towns be there in time? Daihu's going to go for it. He is going to knock up that Arthas. Lots of bolts going to a big wailing arrow into the mid of it. The Jaina is not going down. They didn't actually silence out the Tranquility. They're either bolt from Lex Luthor into the back. It will keep him going. He's going to keep that barcode alive, and Jason is going to drop. He didn't have that indestructible. He had the Storm Shield. Sylvanas is out. Zeratul is now being traded as well, and the Ice Block into the bottom of the Malfurion. He is going to drop, but is this enough time? Is this enough pressure? There goes the Arthas. Kawhi Rice is the only offensive member left, and he can't seal the deal on top of barcode. A 4-for-2 exchange as Panda has come out on top.
Only Tyrael remains. Uther could pick up Redemption and will do so. That should be enough time. Yes, he's going to come back into the fray. So they've got 2 members here, but they did protect that fort. The lanes really didn't push too far forward in either bottom or on top. And now with 2 members down, I'm not sure what Panda can do to try to capitalize on it. A very close fight there, 4 versus 2. But still importantly, Panda is winning these engagements now.
They are, and it's 13 takedowns to 11. They've taken that experience lead. They hit the 21st, and Johanna either just saying that we need as much Storm Shield as we can, or just forsaking her own indestructible. She used the Storm Shield, and it didn't matter. She still dropped down, did not have her entire health bar to fall back on. But still, at the same time, how often do you get to see a bolt on Malfurion? But it really paid off by the end of it there. The Ice Block was great. The bolt was absolutely fantastic. And by the end of it all, 3 bolts, the hardened shield. Panda, could they be too far gone now for Blaze to take the swing?
Well, they've got Absolute Zero, which is a pretty interesting pickup. They're sacrificing the hardened shield on Arthas to instead make Syndragosa fly twice as far and root enemy heroes. So they're really looking to try to have the control that they once had with all of those warriors, bring it back. All of the members of Panda are hanging out in the mid, looking for an early pickup. They all want to focus on Rafflecopter, but instead they might be able to catch Claudius out here. The Water Elemental goes down. He's going to be able to use Eldarin to get away, and now Zeratul has fallen, and Divine Shield keeping Tyrael alive. They're moving back in, trying to get a pickup. They're going to slow down Daihu. Will they be able to grab him? It looks like no. The disengage for Panda will be there, especially with the Blizzard to slow everyone down, but they did lose Zeratul, and he'll be out for 50 more seconds. Look where Blaze are headed.
Yeah, they go straight for this boss. A big objective here at the 22-minute mark. 21 apiece. They nearly took down the Tyrael. Very nearly. Had to pop out that hardened shield, but still the cooldown saved his bacon. And now the 4v5 re-engage. They have no Zeratul for 30 seconds, no VP here, and nothing to get a superior position from the Pandas. But they will actually successfully stop out that boss and leash it down. They can poke it one more time. It might be enough to just delay it, but it does not look like they're going to have a heck of a time doing that. Like, I don't think they can actually take this fight 4v5.
I don't know, but I feel like they have to. They have to try. The Blizzard goes down. The Storm Shield is keeping everyone alive. Daihu has to burrow charge. The Strafe not quite enough to take anybody down. Now Malfurion has dropped. Only Daihu, Barcode, and Evan remaining. Daihu is shielded, is going to be able to survive. They've stopped the boss once again, but they have lost now Malfurion. Zeratul is here, but the heals are not.
Yeah, now they're kind of playing a little bit of respawn roulette at this point. The boss was leashed. As you said, bottom lane not getting the biggest of pushes. Mid is actually getting pushed against the Pandas. And of course, the catapults here to the top really do slow down anybody charging into this boss. But Zeus, he's going to jump in. He's looking for a Void Prison. They want to steal this.
He got hit by a Howling Blast, though. He's not going to be. He does blink out just in time. Wailing Arrow does not connect with him. Rafflecopter is on the chase, but both will fall. Now Zeratul is down, but so is Sylvanas. Only 3 members here, and Judgment into Syndragosa now rooting members. Evan is low. Blessed Shield goes down. Barcode has been caught. Evan is still there, though. He's throwing out arrows like mad. Daihu trying to keep them away from the damage dealers. They've leashed the boss once again, but they have to get out of there. Oh
Respawn roulette, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Furian's not going to be coming into the fray, but we did lose out that Sylvanas low hit points abound, and the boss will not be taken as of yet. Level 21, both sides. Still, again, like there's a lot of creeps activity in these other lanes. Bottom is finally starting to get a really good snowball here from Panda. It has to get cleaned up, and it does look like Team Blaze is going to be very aware of that. The bruisers are back up. Malfurion into the top, just checking out the boss, saying, all right, guys, they ain't there. But again, like this top lane, it's absolutely hard to sneak up on top of Blaze when you got catapults pushing that lane consistently. And now, as they have to wait for that Zeratul, we're going to have bruisers. We're going to have their lanes now reversed, and the push is going towards Panda. They have a little bit of a shorter fuse when it comes to flexibility and timelines to make stuff happen.
All right, well, both bruisers are picked up on either side. Nobody has yet. Actually, I lied. Team Blaze does absolutely have enough gems right now to get a turn in, and they are looking to do that. Jason starting to turn in 28. Zeus is going to stop with a singularity spike and going to be able to delay that for now. They're going to take out the bruisers of Team Blaze, looking to have that favorable push, looking to distract Blaze from being able to get the turn in, as they're both really monitoring the turn in points. We've got Zeratul watching one, Daihu watching another, stopping the turn in. They have to get some of these gems down, or they have to push them completely out of the turn in points.
You can't tell me that they were going to jump on Jason. That might have actually been a game-ending play for the Pandas, because I don't think they would have actually been able to get it, but they do push forward. They get that fort. Small victories at this point. They do dunk down their gems. 14, 8 left. It's not enough for the 65 turn-in, and again, catapults are starting to amass into that top. Bottom is starting to push up against the Pandas there as well. This is do or die time. Whoever wins this next engage, and they're going on top of Kawhi Rice. They're going to go for the boss. Here comes the Syndra Ghost. Gladius moving forward. VP into the back. Rafflecopter and Kawhi are there. Gladius, everybody into it, making it a 4-man mod. The Tranquility is out, but Uther is going to go down. He has the redemption. He's going to come right back into it. He's using the Flash of Lights to keep the team up. And is there enough in the tank here for the Pandas? Gladius is going to drop the second Ghost now popping out. Kawhi Rice tag team, and he's back into it. And as they disengage, it looks like the respawn roulette is finally being hoisted on top of Team Blaze instead.
Yeah, they've dropped Tyrael. He's down for 52 seconds, but now Panda still need to stop these turn-ins. Jason is going to get 32, 58 out of 65. Zeus is going to move in. Roots everywhere as a slow will go down on Som. They're trying to take down Arthas here. He has the gems needed, and they will be able to take him out. Stopping the turn-in from Team Blaze. The Blink goes forward. They're picking up Kawhi Rice. He doesn't have redemption this time, so he will stay down for 50-some seconds, I do believe. And now everyone from Panda going back, maybe to heal up for their final push.
Man, like so many fights going back and forth. It is absolutely insane for this game number 3. These last fights could be at any moment the team's last, as this is game number 3. Whoever wins moves on into the top 8, $1,200 US, and of course the chance to qualify for the September Championships for the Americas. And this boss is looking very juicy for the Pandas. They have the man advantage. Zeus is keeping the tabs on top of Jason. We got Sylvanas into the bottom lane. Is she going to go for this keep? She could, but will that be a game-ending play? Because a boss at 27 minutes in is going to shred that top keep.
Panda are sacrificing both of their keeps now, but Red Web Weavers did get picked up. It took them just long enough to take out the boss that they couldn't watch all of the turn-in points. So with that, this is it for Panda. They have to win off of this boss. They're losing both of their keeps now, and Red Web Weavers are going to start spawning. It's going to be much difficult to push in what they've got to make it work here. They've got no keeps left. They've got the one keep left, but it's so low. The Red Web Weaver will take it out in no time at all.
Boss is there. It is just that one keep, as he said, but it will not stand. This is a core race right now, Gilly. Sylvanas trying to do the best that she can for the defense. If anybody drops from Panda, the chance of a win just from minions from Blaze is going to be so much higher, but Arthas is the one to go down. He gets absolutely blown up. The VP into the back, and there goes the keep. The boss is still over half, and they're going to be marching on to this core.
Tranquility healing up the members of the Panda Global. Only 4 members remaining, and they're not split pushing here. They are trying to defend. A slam on 2 members here means that we've got Divine Shield barely keeping Claudius alive. Rafflecopter, Kawhi Rice. Looks like it will be it. Panda Global are going to do it. They move on to the round of 8. They've taken out Team Blaze in a very, very close final game.
The 28-minute mark, the boss was enough to just push it down. And now, like, we had the split push potential ready for there. They had the web weavers turned in. They were going for core, but the defense was there from Blaze. Could Blaze, with catapults, with those web weavers, actually have outran that boss as soon as they knew that it was there? Could they have all rotated? The Sylvanas was already pushing. There was no response from Zeus or crew. But you know, that's going to have to be the question left unanswered at this point. Panda Global have won every single match series that we got to cover for them today, and they are going to the finals here on August 22, 23.
Man, I have to wonder about trying to base race versus trying to defend a 28-minute golem. But like you said, that's the question that's left unsaid. I really do believe Panda Global's ability to trade out, play the respawn roulette, like you said, leash the boss, force Blaze to leash the boss 3 times before they finally lost Sylvanas and had to give it up. That was the play they had to make there. Their top keep was already down. It would have been the opposite. It would have been a Blaze golem pushing in straight toward core. And that was a fantastic play by Panda Global. My favorite of the day.
The triple, yeah, hands down, the best game we got to cast in this series. DDoS stuff be damned. That was phenomenal. You couldn't keep us down, ladies and gentlemen. You couldn't keep the Panda Global down either. They take it 2-1. Blaze, really high respect for them because they nearly took it. But you gotta give it to Panda. Not only is their drafts pretty much on point, but their gameplay, they're able to turn around so many situations into their favor. And I'm very excited to see what they can do into the top 8 as we are done now for the event. Your August top 8 seeds are delivered, ladies and gentlemen.